Last class we were discussing about 8255 PPI, and PPI stands for Programmable Peripheral Interface, or for implementing the ports modes we are using 8255. There are how many modes? 3 modes are there: mode 0, and another is mode 1, mode 2. There are 3 modes and 3 ports. Port A 0 to 7, 8-bit port, and port B 0 to 7, 8-bit port B, and we have PC 0 to 7. 3 8-bit ports, right? Port A, port B, port C. Am I clear? So this is what we discussed in the last class. So this 8255 device or peripheral device which operates in 3 modes: mode 0, mode 1, mode 2, and it supports 3 8-bit ports. And why these ports are there? To transfer the data parallelly, and we can transfer the data 8 bits in parallel, in contrast to serial input data SID and SOD lines. The microprocessor directly supports serial data communication through SID and SOD. 2 dedicated pins are there that we have seen. So the same 8255 PPI, how it is organized in an IC. So this is the pin diagram of the 8255. So it is a 40 pins package, right? So there are 40 pins. In the left side there are 20 pins, and in the right side there are another 20 pins, and each pin corresponds to a signal, right? So how these are organized, and more or less we are all acquainted with these pin functions. Okay. For example, pin number 1, PA3, PA2, PA1, PA0, that is 1 to 4, the 4 bits or the lower 4 bits of the port A, right? Similarly, you can see PA4 to PA7, that is pin number 37 to 40, that is upper 4 bits of the port A, and these 8 pins are dedicated for port A. Is it okay? So these 4 bits and these 4 bits constitute your port A ports, and each pin can carry a bit of information, that is 0 or 1. So depending on our data item, 8-bit data, so these ports will be useful. Is it okay? So that is about the port A. Similarly, you can identify port B. So port B0 starts from here, that is pin number 18, 19, 20, and 21 to 25. These 8 pins are dedicated for port B. So 8 plus 8, 16. Out of 40 pins, 16 pins are over. Is it okay? Now coming to port C. Port C0 starts from pin number 14, from that is 10 to 14, PC0 to PC7, and what are the other ones? Yes, pin number 10 to 17. 10 to 17 dedicated for port C. So 8 plus 8 plus 8, 24 pins are over out of 40 pins. Is it okay? Or in other words, port A consume 8 pins, port B consume 8 pins, and port C consume 8 bits. Now what about the remaining signals? As already I have told you, every peripheral IC, not only peripheral IC, every memory IC also needs a chip select signal, that is pin number 6. You can observe every IC needs a chip select signal. With the help of a decoder, we can identify or we can recognize this 8255 PPI, and unless this is identified or unless this is enabled, sometimes we call also chip enable signal, chip select or chip enable, both are same, right? So unless you select or enable this particular IC, no ports will function. or in order to make any of this port functional for input or output data transfer, you have to first enable that IC. But usually this chip select signal is a active low signal. It has to be low before it is input to the 8255. It has to be low. But how to make it low? With the help of decoder, or you can directly connect one of the address line from 8085. For example, 8085 or 8086 supports, if it is 8085 it supports 16 address lines, and if it's 8086 it supports 20 address lines. And one of the address line, for example A0 or A1, anyone, I can connect to chip select with a NAND gate, a single input NAND gate. So even though A0 is 1, while coming from 8085 or microprocessor, it will be made low before input to the 8255. Now 8255 is selected. That is the simplest way of interfacing 8255 with 8085. What do you mean by interfacing? That connection of address, data and control should be proper or should be compatible between 8255 and 8085. Then only the interfacing is possible. But before interfacing, first of all we have to select the IC, then you have to select the port, then you have to select the mode of data transfer. These are the 3 steps we have to carry out. First you have to enable that IC, then you select a particular port based upon the control word, that we will see how control word is used to select a particular port from this, and once that port is selected, then you can successfully transfer the data. And for this you have to use a number of address signals, a number of data signals and a number of control signals. So chip select is a control signal which can be directly connected to 8085 in its simplest way, but since there are so many peripheral ICs in a microcomputer system, we cannot dedicate one address line completely for selecting this 8255. So what we will do? We can make use of the decoder. So we have 2 to 4 decoder, or depending upon the complexity, depending upon the types of interfacing, we can go for a 2 to 4 decoder, or we can go for a 3 to 8 decoder, or we can go for 4 to 16 decoder. I think 4 to 16 decoder is enough for us as far as the interfacing is concerned. We will not go beyond that, but it is possible. You can have 5 to 32, or you can have 60 to 64. Likewise, you can go on using the decoders, right? So this is a very brute force approach. If you connect an address line directly to chip select line of 8255, that is the simplest way, but usually it is not advisable. Always you should generate the signal using a decoder. So there are, as far as the interfacing is concerned, there is an extensive use of the decoders. Is it okay? Decoders, multiplexers, buffers, etc. So I think you understood how the chip select signal is important. Unless it is enabled, we cannot do anything. Therefore, it should be selected. But how to be selected? It should be selected by the microprocessor. So you should program the microprocessor in such a way that particularly at a particular point of time 8255 will be selected, and during that the ICs which are not required, that will go in the passive state, or that those should not be selected, and that is possible with the help of a decoder, right. So now coming to address lines A0, A1, these 2 address lines are directly connected to 8255 for selecting the ports or modes. Okay. So we will have a usual combination of A0, A1 and other signals to select a particular port from 8255. I think okay, one more signal left here, read bar signal. It is an active low signal, and why read bar is necessary? Because for inputting or outputting data, we need read bar and there is a write bar. You can see pin number 5 for read bar and for pin number 36 is for write bar. These 2 signals will be interchangeably used for inputting and outputting the data via 8255. Is it okay? So these are the read write control signals. Then we have a reset signal that already I have told you. When you press the reset switch on a computer, so it will reset first microprocessor or processor. Then processor reset signals are connected to reset pin of 8255 and reset pin of each and every IC in the system, so that each and every IC will be reset, right. So, or we can say the reset is the input signal to 8255 and it is the output signal from 8085 or 8086. As far as the connection is concerned, control signal connection is concerned. So, if it is 8085 here, so reset out or reset is the output signal from 8085 that is connected directly to reset input of the 8255. The way I told you, from 8085 there must be a connection from 8085 to chip select for selecting that chip, and in between the decoder will appear. Similarly, 8085 reset output will be connected to reset input of 8255. Therefore, arrow mark is given inward, and you can observe in 8085 the same reset signal was given outward. Am I clear? So, the reset pin directly you can connect to 8255. So, reset logic is over, chip select logic is over, and of course, read write bar also. Both the signals are available in 8085. They can be also directly connected to 8255. Now, coming to data lines. So, ports can be useful for transferring the data, but these 8 data lines are directly connected to 8085 multiplexed address data bus, that is D0 to D7. Because unless they are connected physically, we cannot program 8255, or 8255 cannot work according to control word. The information whatever loaded in control word will work only when physically there is a connection between 8085 and 8255. So, this is what we are discussing about the physical connection between 8085 and 8255. Right. Once the connection is over, then you can set the control word and load the control word into control register to configure 8255 in proper modes, mode 0 or mode 1 or mode 2. Is it okay? So, now coming to the last signal, that is VCC. What is VCC? Power supply. So, every IC needs a power supply. So, a plus 5 volt DC is connected to 8255. I think in this way all 40 pins are having 40 different signals. Some are carrying address signals, some are carrying data signals, and some are carrying control signals, and which are again connected using the bus called system bus. So, system bus consists of address bus, data bus, another is control bus. I think pin diagram is clear to everybody, but there is a problem in pin diagram. What is the problem? The biggest problem is that it is very difficult to remember pin wise each of this signal. Even if you try to remember this, after few days you will also forget it, is not it? So, it is exactly to remember each of these pin and its function is difficult. Therefore, we should go for another figure where all the signals will be presented and IC will be presented, but without exactly remembering the pins. So, for that we will take the help of another diagram. Since the signals are important for interfacing, so pin diagram may not be useful from the theoretical point of view, but for practical point of view pin diagram is important. Whenever you do any experiment using 8255, for example traffic signal controller or stepper motor interfacing, that time 8255 pin diagram is important. But now we should go for another diagram, that is called schematic diagram. So, the schematic diagram will present all the signals whatever we discussed, and we shall show the pin the IC of the 8255, but without exactly mentioning or specifying the pin numbers and their signals. It's okay. Is it okay? So, you can compare this figure and that figure, both are same, but which is easy. So, certainly this is easier to remember each of the signals. So, here it also includes all the signals, whatever all 40 signals we discussed, they are also present here, but it is easy to remember. How it is easy to remember? So, if you know the address and a control and data connections needed for an IC, I think we can easily show this. And 8255 all of you know there are 3 ports. So, easily you can show say PA0 to PA7, PB0 to PB7, and you can mark like this. You can put a slash here on the connection on this arrow mark and put 8. This means that there are 8 ports, 8 connections available. If somewhere you need to represent 16 lines, just write 16 here, or in general n for n lines, right. So, similarly PC4 to PC7 you can show by 4. The meaning is that why port C is divided into 2 parts, because of the modes, right. So, we will see that there are 2 groups also, group A control and group B control. So, we have divided this port C into 2 parts or 2 subgroups. Similarly, PB0 to PB7 8, PA0 to PA7. So, you can see the entire 8 plus 8 plus 8, that is 24 signals we could show by only drawing 4 lines, 4 arrows. By drawing 4 arrows, we can show 24 signals. So, on the left side D0 to D7, just write here 8, and we know that read bar write bar is there, and address connection A0 to A1 is connected to 8255, that also we discussed, and reset signal is there, shift selecting is there, power supply is there, and this power supply goes from 8255 with a this is the reference voltage, this is the plus 5 volt, that is this makes a complete circuit. There must be a positive signal, there must be a negative signal, then only power supply will be complete. So, VSS and VCC, this will serve as the power supply, and that is of course necessary for every IC, every peripheral IC available in a microcomputer system, right. So, this is the schematic diagram. So, as far as the interfacing is concerned, or exam is concerned, or theory is concerned, we shall refer this diagram, schematic diagram, instead of giving focus to the pin diagram, which is difficult to remember. Okay, one pin IC you can remember. There, as I told you, there are hundreds of ICs. How can you remember the pin diagram of 100 ICs? So, therefore, we shall focus on the schematic diagram, right. So, again I am summarizing about 8255. This 8255 PPI, parallel programmable peripheral interface, is used for implementing the ports, and it supports 3 modes, mode 0, mode 1, mode 2, and it supports 2 group A and a group B, and it supports 3 ports, PA0 to 7, PB0 to 7 and PC0 to 7. So, these are the minimum necessity to program the control word or to identify every bit field of the control word. So, now we shall see how 8255 can be programmed using the corresponding control word. So, okay. So, control word or we call this command word of 8255, which is again an 8-bit word, usually stored in the accumulator. So, accumulator is of 8 bits, right, and here also the command word is of 8 bits. So, it is used for selecting the modes. What are the modes? Mode 0, mode 1, mode 2, and it is selecting the ports PA, PB, PC, and this is also used for selecting whether input port or output port. For example, if you want to use port A as the input port, what configuration should be there? What bit field position you should give in the control word, so that port A can be configured as the input port. Input port means the data will be input, data will be read via 8255 and pass on to 8085 or 8086. right. Similarly, it also select another important thing, that is whether you are using input output mode or bit set reset mode, right. Then it will also decide whether you interfacing this 8255 using memory mapped IO or IO mapped IO. Because each of this device, whatever we are discussing, can be interfaced either using memory mapped IO or using IO mapped IO, right. And you know what is the difference between memory mapped IO and IO mapped IO. In IO mapped IO, we generate an exclusive 8-bit address to identify a device, but in memory mapped IO, we assume that the device address is stored in a memory location, and whenever you want to select a device, you access a particular location where this address is available. That is the only difference between memory mapped IO and a IO mapped IO. Okay. So, how the 8-bit control word is organized? So, okay. So, this is the control word for 8255. So, it is 8-bit control word. So, D0 to D7, and the meaning of each bit field from this control word is very clear. You can see group A control, group B control. The total ports are divided into 2 groups, group A and group B. The 3 ports, port A, B, C. So, let us see first D0. If it is 1, what is the meaning of this? The meaning is that port C lower, that is PC0 to PC3, will be taken as the input port. Is it okay? And if it is 1, if it is 1, it is input port. If it is 0, it is output port. So, which is the output port? PC0 to PC3, that is lower 4 bits of port C. Is it okay? D0. Similarly, D1 bit, if it is 1, that means port B you are considering as the input port. You are receiving the data through port B, and port B means entire PB0 to PB7 is associated, not 4 bits, right. And if it is 0, the port B is taken as the output port. So, this is you are setting the command word, we are not transferring the data. Data transfer will have separate page, but initially you have to set this bit field and load into control register such that the port A, port B, port C all are configured. Then D2 bit will decide whether you are using mode 0 and mode 1. So, from this it is clear that under the group B control, we can only use 2 modes, that is mode 0 and mode 1. Mode 2 cannot be used under the group B control. Is it okay? So, mode 2 cannot be used under group B. If you want to use mode 2, then you have to go for group A. Is it okay? Similarly, D3, if it is 1, that means port C upper. Upper means PC port 2, upper 4 bits of port C will be input port. And if it is 0, it will be considered as the output port. Very simple, but these things you have to remember. Unless you remember, you cannot set the control word, because we have to make first port A, for example, to transfer a single byte of data, and to support the both bidirectional data transfer, you have to make port A suppose input, and port B output. Similarly, you have to choose the bit field from this control word. Unless you make port A input, the data cannot be input, right. Similarly, bit position D4, if for port A, that is if it is 1, this indicates that port A is the input port, and if it is 0, this indicates that it is port A is the output port. Is it clear? And the last 2 bits, that is D5, D6, these 2 bits will select the modes. And as you know, group A supports 3 modes. So, mode 0, mode 1, mode 2. So, we can get 4 combinations, and 0 0 stands for mode 0, 0 1 stands for mode 1, 1 0 and 1 1 both stands for mode 2. Is it okay? D5 and D6. And last bit position, that is D7, this if it is 1, it is IO mode, input output mode, as if you are transferring the data from an input device to output device. And if it is in BSR mode, individual bit positions of port C can be programmed for various applications. One application is that you can suppose have 8 switches, and you have to make each of the switch either on or off, then you can operate using the BSR mode. And whenever a control word is set to BSR mode, during that port A and port B is automatically disabled. Only port C is exclusively used for the control. Is it okay? Suppose a problem is given, what is the control word for setting port A as input, port B as output, and operates in IO mode. So, what will be the control word? Can you find out? If the question is clear, you want to make port A as input and port B as the output, and the operation in IO mode, not BSR mode. So, what will be the control word? Is it okay? So, what is the control word for setting port A as input, port B as output, and it should operate in IO mode? So, it is clear that D1 will have 0, you got it, and D2 will have 0, and D4 must be 1, D5 and D6 must be 0 0, and D7 must be 1. And the remainings, you can, since it is not clearly given in the question, either you can assume 0 or you can assume 1, whatever you feel, because we have not mentioned anything about port C. So, therefore, the control word is 90H. And in this case, you can see there can be more than one control word for doing the same task, because if somebody assumes this is 1, then it will be changed. However, the functions will not be affected. So, control words, you should choose control words judiciously, so that the data transfer can be successful, right. So, okay. So, this is a problem given. Assume that interface 8255 with 8085 microprocessor and write an assembly language program, few instructions, which determines the contents of port A and port B and stores the result in port, which determines the addition of contents of port A and port B and store the result in port C. Is it okay? So, we have two datas, one should be available at port A, another data should be available at port B, and both will be added together and the result will be stored in port C. So, addition logic is very clear, that may be easy. So, what is the difficulty part here? You have to set the control word such that port A will be taken as input port, port B will be taken as the input port, because both the ports will be used for inputting the data. And what should be the port C? Port C should be chosen as the output port. So, choose the control word and move the control word to the accumulator, then out port 1, and this port 1 is not something port of 8255. This is the port where the control word will be output to program 8255, right. Then we can use the port A and port B and port C for solving this problem. Okay. So, this we can before solving this problem, let us consider what is the algorithm, what algorithm we should follow. Step 1, okay. So, this is the algorithm you have to follow. That step 1, construct the control word register, right. So, control word you can set whatever we discussed, the way the bit field positions are specified, accordingly you can construct the control word, and the control word will vary from problem to problem, right. Then step 2, input the data from port A and port B. So, what is the instruction for inputting the data? Input port A. In port A, the data will be made available into the accumulator, right. Add the content, port 2 input instruction you should use in port A and port B, so that data from port A will be loaded into accumulator, and we can save this accumulator content in a other register. Otherwise, what will happen? The accumulator content will be modified by port B data. So, you can keep a copy of a accumulator in a register, temporary register, right. Then you can use add. For example, we are taking the copy into register B, then add B. A and B will be added together. Then what you have to use? Result is in the accumulator, out port C. So, I think this is clear. Add the contents of port A and port B and display the result in port C. Then it should halt. So, number of instructions are very less as far as the interfacing is concerned. So, what we are supposed to do in an interfacing? You have to show the physical connection diagram, how 8085 is connected to 8255 in the context of this problem. In the context of this problem, you have to connect 8085 to 8255. That is the connection diagram is over. Wherever decoder is necessary, use the decoder. Wherever multiplexer, buffers are necessary, use the appropriate buffers. In addition to that, you have to show all kinds of signals, address signals, data signals and control signals. That is step 1. Step 2, write the corresponding instruction for this algorithm. Is it okay? And step 3, give a brief description about the interfacing mechanism and the algorithms, or you can write the comment statements in the program. Am I clear? So, first show the physical connection diagram between 8085 or microprocessor with 8255. Second, write the corresponding set of instructions for this particular algorithm. This is just I have written in English, but you have to write the corresponding instructions using either 8085 instruction set or 8086 instruction set. And finally, give a description about the interfacing mechanism. And if you are not able to give that description, just write the comment statement in the program. That will be also enough. This is what we expect in the interfacing, and we shall clearly solve this particular problem in the next class. How the control words instructions are used? Hardly 10 instructions are enough to solve this problem.